Warning: the following podcast contains violent scenes that may be unsettling to some listeners. Listener discretion is advised.
A poor soul of noble origins, a squire tested in battle, a knight-errant forged in Camelot, a man strengthened by love. Join Adam as Sir Goliston and Craig as the Game Master in Blood and Lust, a King Arthur Pendragon duet game of chivalry and mythic adventure. Let us win glory for our king, who will reward us with honors and lands, and the devil take the hindmost. So, Sir Goliston, you're kind of staring in disbelief for a second as this beautiful lady is being carried away on this wild beast of a horse. How would you like to react?
I'm going to call after her. I'm going to say, do not worry, my lady. I'm going to fetch my horse and I'll be after you in a moment. And I'm going to run after my horse, get on my horse and kind of like just take off in the direction that I saw them go.
Would you like to mount your horse normally, or would you like to reenact the jumping onto the horse thing you did after your knighting?
I definitely want to do it in the most like stylish and action-packed way I can. Like I don't know if it's realistic to like jump on it as it's going, but he's definitely going to be doing like a real like just high stakes mounting. There's nothing casual about this.
Let's get a dex roll then.
Pass 5 on a 10.
So you do one of those things where you kind of run up behind your horse and then just jump into the saddle, like kind of like you're vaulting it. It's might be easier this time because you're not wearing full armor, but you're able to go kia, and your horse kind of just takes off after. So you're kind of chasing and you're trying to close the distance between this runaway horse and your own. And you're still a little bit behind it. So can I get a... So can I get a horsemanship roll?
5 on a 10.
Excellent. So you're able to close the ways a little bit, and then you're almost caught up, and then you realize that there's a low branch between the two of you, so you would need to duck. Can I get a dex roll?
My luck finally runs out. 12 on a 10. I do not pass.
So you're getting in really close, and the horse somehow manages to like, it's almost like it shifted under it to just meet it or shrunk or something. But the woman kind of like hits some of the branches and they kind of flap back into you, sort of like what you did to Sir Tor earlier. And you're slowed down a little bit, but you're still in the chase.
I'm yelling after her the whole time. Just hold on tight, my lady. I'll be right there.
So you're galloping on your horse closer again. And can I get an awareness roll?
Pass 5 on a 9.
So you see this horse, you think it's a horse still, kind of like glide across this area. But as soon as you get close, you make your awareness roll and realize that it's like a hidden ditch. And you are able to notice the ditch and close some more distance again. And you're closer to the point where you were earlier. Can you make me a horsemanship roll, please?
9 on a 10. Pass.
All right. So the horse leads you over a small stream, at which you are able to get your horse to jump as well. And you could see like this woman's hair is just flying back in the breeze. She's like holding on for dear life. And you could see like the rope that you tied to it earlier kind of just flapping in the breeze. And ahead of you, you see a cliff. What would you like to do?
Holy shit. I want to try to grab the rope and see if I can like just ride in close enough, grab the rope, and then just like pull back on my horse and see if I can yank that other horse to a stop.
That sounds like either dex or horsemanship. I'll let you choose. Tell me which one you do.
Well, I have the same value in each. I think horsemanship. Let me give that a roll. 10 on a 10.
Okay, so that's a crit. If you haven't checked horsemanship already, you should check that.
It's checked.
So you kind of grab onto like the horse's mane, you're kind of clawing your way up. You might have grabbed a little bit of her dress at some point, but you eventually get the rope and you kind of like slow from like a gallop to a canter to a trot to just stopping. And you're able to show the other horse that, hey, you're the boss here a little bit. And it kind of slows down and stops.
I'm this whole time I'm like, easy boy, easy boy.
So the woman's kind of just like looking like she had like Mr. Toad's wild ride at this point. Her hair's everywhere. Her dress is all a mess, and she's just like, help me down.
I help her down from the horse carefully.
Right. So you dismount yourself and then kind of like grab her hand, and she just spills into your arms, and she says thanks, and kind of like shifts her hair to the side, and you just like notice these crazy beautiful ocean blue eyes, and you're just kind of caught staring into them.
And Goliston kind of like freezes up for a moment, and he's kind of just like awestruck, and he's when he like finally catches himself, he breaks away, and he's just like, are you well enough to ride on the back of my horse? And he's gonna try to like get her set up to ride on the back of his horse, and he's gonna say, hold on to me tightly, I'll get us back safely. What?
Are you done staring into her eyes?
Oh yeah, he's done. Yeah.
Oh, okay. And you think you say all that, but you didn't.
Oh yeah, he's just been like dreaming or something.
And then like she kind of looks embarrassed too, and kind of like looks away.
Goliston is like, what is this feeling? Certainly, what he felt for the commoner he had that tryst with, it was not nearly as strong as what he's feeling right now. He's just like so taken aback, but he's trying to compose himself in a manner that's becoming of a respected knight.
All right, so you kind of like reconstitute yourself a little bit. And then you look around, you see your own horse there, and then you're holding onto the rope, and then like you feel the other end of the rope drop, and you look around and you see just like, instead of a white horse, it's a sparrow, and it just kind of drops through the rope and flies away and starts tweeting.
Wait, what?
And she looks up and says, well, I think your friend had his fun. And she kind of like gives a little whistle to the bird.
I've surely never seen something like that.
Well, it is a wonderful forest after all, this here Camelot.
And he's like, he probably says something like truly beautiful, and like it's unclear whether he's talking about her or the bird.
So Sir Goliston, you have rescued a fine young lady from an otherwise terrible fate, and you've already in your heart compared her to that of a commoner you thought you felt feelings for at one point. Would you like to develop an amour passion?
Yes.
All right. All right. So we're actually going to leave the numbers blank for now, but in your heart you're feeling something, and you're kind of walking around still in search of her horse. She's kind of leaning on you because her ankle's still a little bit sore. And
maybe I have her like on my horse, like riding it, and I'm like pulling it along, kind of like, so like she's like riding like above, and I'm just kind of like walking like her on the horse or something.
Yeah, I like that imagery. So you're walking around a knight in, well, you're not in armor, but you're leading the lady on your own horse, kind of searching her way through, trying to find hers. And she says, well, sir, tell me about yourself.
Well, my name is Sir Goliston, and I don't believe I caught your name, my lady.
She kind of blushes a little, and she says, well, it's Aelli Alark for Charmin.
Ah, a truly beautiful name, if I do say so. And then he kind of just like turns away shyly. I am from Huntington. My lord is the noble Sir Gregor de Stafford.
Ah, yes, I believe I've heard of you.
You have? And he's like kind of surprised.
Yes, well, you're the one we sent all that wine and ham to last year.
And he'll kind of like smile and nod, and he'll, pat his stomach and be like, it was well enjoyed.
I can see that as she's looking you up and down and realizing you're like size, 19?
19, yeah, 19.
And she kind of laughs a little bit. Yes, my father always said that he liked you.
And Goliston is kind of just like nodding and trying to still like appear humble. He's just like, it's very, very kind of him.
Tell me, sir, did you know him well?
Out of character, who was her father?
Well, the full name that she gave was Aelli Alarc Furch Armin, and that's Aviel Swan, daughter of Amran.
Oh, yikes. Okay, so that's gonna change his reaction completely then. He just like kind of like he becomes very kind of like solemn and serious for a second, and he's just like he's just struck with embarrassment. And he's just like, your father, he turns around and he kind of like stops the horse for a second and just like looks up at her, and he's just like, your father was a great man. One of the greatest men I've ever had the pleasure of meeting.
Really, tell me of him. I would have just loved to have known him longer. And he always said that you reminded him of, well.
So like for a second, like Goliston's kind of like idea changes. Like he was very like physically attracted to her, kind of just so taken aback by her beauty. But now he's going to just kind of like, his tone is going to change. He still finds her very beautiful and all this stuff. But like now he obviously has this like different kind of like respect, knowing that she is Amran's daughter. So he does kind of like start to change the way he like behaves. And he's going to be like very obviously like less like blatantly like flirty towards her. And he's going to kind of just slowly walk with her and tell her the entire story of just how, like, when he was just like this lowly knight coming up in the world, he met this guy, her father, and just like how Amran, in a sense, took him under his wing. And basically, like, at the end of this long-winded story, the takeaway is, I'm just now coming into myself as a knight, and coming into myself in this title and position. But I would not be the man I am today had it not been for your father.
Would you like to roll orate?
Yeah. That's a 20. I don't do a very good job explaining.
No, her head seems kind of like lost in the clouds, a little bit. Like
she's confused. She's just like, no, let me start over. That was he was, yeah, and I'm just doing kind of like a terrible job, but it's like maybe it's clear that it's because I'm like emotional talking about this subject, but like, yeah, I'm not giving her this like powerful speech about like what an amazing man her father was.
Yeah, like it's funny because like a lot of people compare like the emotions of Pendragon to sort of like an anime sort of thing, especially when you got like above 16s or you fumble. Maybe you start crying a little bit talking about him.
Yeah, I'm just kind of like blubbering on because like, and the thing is like, I want to honor her request by telling her about her father. And I have like so many strong feelings about her father and my relationship with him, but it's just like too much. I'm not like, I can't even begin to use words to like get it to come across correctly. It's just like, it's like I'm running into somebody and it's like, oh my God, you know that guy? Like that guy's just so awesome. And it's like, it's just like much more than that. Like this is his daughter. I can't, and it's like, I just can't really explain to you of all people, like what this person meant to me. Yeah. And it's just like, he's probably just like, kind of blubbering on and just like, yeah, getting carried away, getting emotional as well.
So you're kind of like telling the story and you're just kind of leading her on and then like on, but then you just kind of stop for this emotional conclusion. And since it is a fumble, bad things do have to happen. And you realize you're just like blubbering this story. And this knight in like shining harness comes through on like a white courser, and he's pulling behind him a chestnut brown palfrey. And she says, "Oh, my horse."
Goliston, kind of disappointed, is just like, there he is. So glad he's come across. He's come back to us.
And you recognize the actually make me a recognize roll.
That's a fail. 6 on a 4.
I'm just checking the glory because you might still recognize him. Yeah, you'd still recognize him. With that, you recognize him as Sir Garrus. You see his arms, a lot like his older brother Gawain's, has the double-headed eagle, golden eagle on purple, with a border of white with some red flames around it. It's a really cool looking piece of heraldry. And yeah, he's one of the Orkney knights. You probably also recognize one of his other older brothers, Sir Agravain, but he dismounts his own horse and says, "My lady, I think you lost this," and kind of leads the palfrey over to her. And Aviel's like, "Oh, thank you, my hero," and she kind of like does one of those little curtsies and climbs up onto the horse. And then she looks back at you, and your eyes meet again.
And Goliston kind of like looks up at her. He's probably trying to hide his disappointment and this other knight kind of like swooping in and saving the day. But he's not going to try to make any of that obvious or known. And he's going to just kind of like look up at her on the horse. He's still standing on the ground next to his own horse at this point. And he just looks up at her, and their eyes just kind of meet again. And he's just like, "Hope I'll be seeing you, milady."
Well, I'm sure you will, sir. So let's fast forward a little bit to the rest of the festivities at Camelot. The hunt was a success. Gawain and Arthur brought down the unicorn and ensnared it, and now it's kind of just chilling in the Queen's menagerie, as was the plan all along. They went out with a plan. Despite not having it for a while, they always succeed on stuff like this. So, I mean, no one's really surprised. But there is a feast this evening, and you, Sir Gregor, Sir Tor, are all in attendance. And like Sir Gregor's kind of looking at you, and he says, "Well, I heard you led quite the hunt for a while there."
And Sir Goliston is just kind of like staring off into space, and he almost just like doesn't hear Sir Gregor. And then he kind of like distractedly turns over to him, and he's like, "Wait, what?"
"Yes, I heard it from my buddy Gawain there that you were leading the hunt for quite some time."
"Oh, yes, right. The hunt. Yes, it was indeed quite a spectacular event." And he kind of just like, is staring off into the stars again.
What are you wearing to this feast?
I think he might like just still be wearing his best outfit, which might have been what he was wearing on the hunt.
Okay.
I'm trying to think. Yeah. And because I don't think I really got it too like ripped up or torn up or anything.
No, you get hit by one branch. Let me make and it's Baldric passes his squire roll, so he's able to fix it up.
Yeah, and it's kind of almost like it's not that I'm proud of how I did, it's that I'm not like embarrassed of how I did, so I'm still wearing the uniform of it.
Yeah, and like by Sir Gregor's account, you did very well for some of your station. And like you're looking around, you see like Sir Tor looks like he's wearing like the same outfit that he was, although it seems to be brand new. So you wonder how many of those outfits he might have.
It's so his favorite. He's had multiple of them made.
So he's either like a cartoon character or a superhero, but just one of those like this is what I'm wearing for the year. Just talking around, you kind of get the idea that he is one of those that kind of sets fashion trends in the court, besides Arthur and Guinevere, of course.
And as I kind of like notice that fact about him, it does kind of make me like realize the importance of clothing and appearance. And I'm just like, like maybe it is something to take more stock in. But like Goliston's mind is not there. He's probably not really eating much, but he's definitely just like kind of drinking deeply in the wine. And I think that like when he gets like enough glasses of wine in, he's probably just going to kind of like turn to Sir Gregor like with an almost like distraught look in his face and just be like, Sir Gregor, I must confess, I met Lady Aelli in the woods today, and even just after our brief encounter, I'm taken by her. My heart, it yearns to be with her. He's just like, he's just kind of just like waxing poetic, just like spilling his guts to like his most trusted and loved person. He's just like, when I first met her, I had no idea that she was Sir Amron's daughter. And even so, it was not enough to change how I felt.
He looks up from his roasted seal, because that's what I was rolling for.
Oh my God. Nice.
So he looks up from his roasted seal, and you're probably saying this as you are serving him, because like typically you're a respected knight, but this is Pentecost feast at Camelot, so like you're the type of people doing the serving at this point. And he says, "Is that so?"
It is so. I don't know if I can control these feelings.
Well, I'm honored, but you should remember, though, one of the rules of the court of love.
And what is that, my lord?
A lover shouldn't tell that many about his love affair. And he kind of winks at you and kind of slurps up some seal in seal sauce.
And Goliston kind of like looks around the room panicked, and he's like, my lord, you were the only one I have told, and I beg you not to share this with anybody else. It is of grave importance. And like, he's just kind of like looking like a middle school kid who's like embarrassed that his crush might find out or something. And he's just like, like he almost like hushes the Lord, but thinks better of himself and is just like, no, this is just between you and I, please, my lord. And he really like, he can't even enjoy this beautiful feast of seal that's in front of him, because his heart is just in so many places right now.
Yeah, understandable. So you're actually like, you conclude serving, so then you finally get a chance to sit down yourself, and like Baldric comes and serves you, but you're just like kind of poking at it, picking at it, and like he kind of like slides your pimp glass full of some red wine to you.
I slug it down.
Mm-hmm. Well, I heard from Sir Gahers's squire earlier that the two of you rescued a young lady.
Indeed we did, Baldric. She was quite a beautiful lady, if I do say so. But lest I not get carried away, it was a fine hunt and a fun time.
Can you make me an intrigue roll, please? This is a courtly skill, and it would be modified by both your glory and your fine outfit. So that'd be a +4.
Nice, and I rolled a 1.
All right. So you're kind of like chatting up with Baldric, try to be a bit modest. So he insists that you check your modest, but he says, not the only thing I heard. And I heard from the lady servant, who is friends with another lady servant, that her lady, Lady Aelli, was asking about you.
Asking about me? What was she asking? What did she say? This way, Baldric. And he kind of will like pull Baldric to what he thinks is a more quiet corner, and he's going to like push a glass over to Baldric and be like, "Go on, Baldric, drink. Tell me, what was she asking about me?"
Well, the normal things, like who you served, what your great deeds are, what were you doing in the forest all alone. and he kind of like points with his chin, and you see her from across the hall, Avielli, wearing this beautiful crimson gown, and like there's like a little blue trimmed cape that she has with it too, and it's flowing, and she looks just so lovely.
And yeah, he's just staring at her with his mouth kind of wide open, just, and the thought that she was interested enough to inquire about him is kind of just like filling him with like a childish sense of excitement right now. And he's kind of just, to Baldric, he's kind of just like, tell me more. No, get away from me. No, tell me more. No, go stand over there. And he's like, he doesn't know like what to do really. He's just like, just go stand over there so I look alone in case she dares to approach. And he's kind of just like trying to gussy himself up a little bit. He combs his hair back with his hand and kind of spits in his hand and like wipes dirt away from his face and stuff.
And that's when the music starts. It's a lute and some sort of pipe, and it's starting to play some sort of danceable tune. And you're kind of like standing next to Baldric, then not next to Baldric, and then he's confused, and now you're putting saliva in your hair, and like you turn around and you realize that she's like standing only a few feet away from you.
Almost like without even thinking, he just says, "My lady, would you care to dance?"
And she puts her hand out for you to take it. Let's before I have you roll your dancing skill, let's return to that amour passion we were talking about. So can you roll me 3d6 to start off with?
9.
Okay, and then it's 12 plus. So your amour, assuming you want it to be an amour passion, your amour Avielli would be 24.
Wow.
So that's over 16. That's actually over 20. Like this is like kind of what a lot of people get for like Guinevere, just for some perspective.
Yeah, actually I have an amour for Guinevere, but it's only 12, so.
Yeah, like she's the king's wife. She's pretty hot, but this is like double that.
Yeah.
So, dancing, you can straight up roll your dancing, or you can impassion your dancing first and then roll your dancing.
I want to impassion my dancing with my amour for Avielli.
Alrighty, roll your d20 out of 24. You would crit on a 16 or higher.
I got a 1. I've rolled so many 1s today.
Yeah. Well, you still pass.
Oh, yeah, it's great.
So the passing will give you plus 10 on your dancing roll. And don't forget you have a plus 4 for your glory in your clothes.
Nice. I got a 6, and that's a pass.
Alrighty. Well, not a crit, right?
Not a crit.
Okay. So, yeah, you conduct yourself admirably and should check your dancing if it's not already checked. And let's actually see how she's doing. Yeah, she's doing fine. She's dancing, keeping up with you. It's like one of those, like, it almost looks like a courtly line dance sort of thing. Have you seen A Knight's Tale with Heath Ledger?
Yes.
It's a lot like
with
that.
all the Queen songs, or yeah, it has like all the modern songs.
Yeah, it's a lot like that. So I like that film because it does a good job of using modern music to convey the emotion of what the people at the time would be feeling. Like it's a Queen stadium rock instead of like a trumpet fanfare, but that's the best way to translate it to a modern audience, I think.
Yeah, that would be sick.
Well, it's like one of those like it's almost like a medieval line dance, but you're definitely partners, and like for some reason like the two of you seem to keep being rotated into the middle of everything, and it's very nice.
I give Baldric a thumbs up, like discreetly, as I as we kind of circle around and I catch his eye. I'm like,
so you dance, and you probably dance a few more times, and she's looking like she's having a pretty good time. How's Goliston feeling?
Goliston is over the moon right now. He feels like it's working out for him. And he was kind of, at first he thought he was put off by the fact that this was Sir Amren's daughter, but he finds that if anything, it almost just like bolsters his respect for her. And so he's like, if anything, he's finding himself even more taken by her. And he's like, he doesn't even think about the gossip that he heard earlier or anything like that. It's more just like her beauty and her, her personality and stuff that he's gotten so far. He's just like love at first sight with her, I guess. So he's just very pleased that they're together and dancing. He couldn't wish for anything better right now.
So after a more lively tune, she makes a show of saying that, "Oh, it's so warm. Perhaps I'll go out and cool myself by the balcony." And she kind of looks and turns to you almost expectantly.
Goliston kind of coughs and then does an audible gulp, and he's just like, "May I join you, milady?"
Well, it wouldn't be proper to go without an escort.
And he'll like put his arm out for her to link with his.
And she takes it. So the two of you kind of walk, and it's refreshing as you walk out onto this balcony, and you're kind of like looking over this beautiful garden, and you could see in the distance some men still kind of trying to load up the unicorn into the menagerie cage, which is adjacent to the garden. And like the camera kind of pans back over, and like you could see this like almost like a hedge maze type thing in front of you with like some stone topiaries sticking out of it, and there's beautiful roses and flowers of every kind blooming from the hedges. And she kind of has her arm in yours, and she kind of walks over to the balcony and leans over it and says, "Oh, it certainly is beautiful here."
And he's like not looking at the stars at all. He's just like looking at her, and he's just like, "Indeed, it truly is."
Yes, my parents used to meet here. I've been a few times myself. It's been a while, but never at night and never with. And she kind of looks at you and blushes.
Goliston definitely blushes as well, and he'll just kind of like try to laugh to lighten the mood.
And she just starts like walking around top over the balcony and down some like stone staircases, which you could have swore are new additions, but have the appearance of having been in Camelot for forever, despite this is the first time you saw those staircases. And she kind of like walks down a few steps and looks behind her.
And Goliston is just kind of like trying to make conversation with her. And he's like, "This is indeed the most beautiful land I've ever been to. And did you see the creature captured today? Oh, so majestic."
Yes, I heard. But don't you think that such a majestic creature should be set free?
Indeed. I suppose I hadn't considered it. It is truly majestic. Something that no man should have possession of.
Well, at least it is our queen, and she is a gentle heart.
Indeed, she is a most noble lady.
And she's kind of like surrounded by all these like exotic looking flowers, and she's like looking around, looks back at you and smiles, and then opens her mouth as if to say something, but then kind of stops.
"What was it, my lady? What were you to say? Please speak freely in my company."
"Well, I was just wondering, perhaps, good sir, if you'd be interested in a game of sorts."
"Anything."
And she smiles and says, "Well then," and you could tell she's kind of a little embarrassed about saying it, but she says, "Well, my valiant knight, what would you wager against a kiss that I could beat you to the center of this maze?"
He like pauses as if considering it for a while, and he's just like, "All right, you're on." And then he just like, he tries to make it seem like he's giving a fair effort, but he's just gonna like just very clearly let her win and then just like kiss her.
Well, she takes off, and you try to follow her, and you you see her go right and take off, but then once you take that same right, you're not sure if it's you or you might have been thinking something else, but it's a dead end, and your only available course is to go left.
I pursue.
So you are now in a foot race to the middle of this maze to pursue your lady love, and you kind of have this weird feeling inside of you that you kind of had this feeling like the year before when you were in the forest that things aren't all what they seem in this maze. I like knights. Do you like knights too? If so, check out our Scion, Temptation, and 13th Age games for more chivalric role-playing.